The message arrived at exactly 6 o'clock. Not a second earlier. Not a second later. I remember, because I hadn't slept. No one had, not since the directive was announced. My apartment window reflected a pale version of me, unshaven, hollow-eyed, waiting for something I didn't want to face. Then the wall screen flickered. A single line appeared. Civilian status update. Pending assignment. My stomach tightened. It was happening. Beginning. The directive came 6 months after first contact. At first, humanity celebrated. We weren't alone. We had survived long enough to meet something greater, smarter, older, and infinitely more powerful. They didn't invade. They didn't attack. They reorganized. That was the word they used. Reorganization for long-term species sustainability. It sounded harmless. It wasn't. They took control of Earth's infrastructure within days. No resistance, no war, just systems shutting down and coming back under their authority. Governments didn't fall. They were absorbed. Economies didn't collapse. They were rewritten. And then came the directive. All human citizens must be assigned a compatible life partner. No exceptions. No appeals. No delays. They said it was necessary. Something about human instability, declining population trends, emotional imbalance. They claimed they understood us better than we understood ourselves. Maybe they did, but that didn't make it right. At first, people laughed, thought it was a translation error, a misunderstanding. Until the assignments began. People were paired, strangers mostly. Some human, some not. The first reports of alien pairings were dismissed as rumors, until someone recorded one. A man standing in his living room, a small, unfamiliar figure beside him, looking up at him, calling him husband. The screen in my apartment blinked again. The text changed. Assignment confirmed. My breath caught. Then, partner species, non-human. My heart dropped. No. I whispered. No, no, no. The door behind me slid open. I didn't turn around. I didn't have to. I already knew. I've been assigned to you. The voice was soft. Higher than I expected. Careful. Measured. I turned slowly. And everything I thought I knew shifted. She was small. Not childlike, but smaller than me by a lot. Her skin shimmered faintly under the morning light, a pale silver with hints of blue beneath the surface, like veins of light moving just under her skin. Her eyes were too large. Not unsettling, just different. Deep violet, almost glowing. Watching me with a strange mix of curiosity and caution. She held her hands together in front of her, fingers interlocked tightly. Nervous. Humans are required to have a wife, she said quietly. And I have been assigned to you. I stared at her, waiting for something to break the moment. A laugh. A glitch. A sign this wasn't real. Nothing came. This isn't happening, I said. It is, she replied. Her voice didn't waver. I ran a hand through my hair, pacing. No. No, I didn't agree to this. Nobody asked me. You can't just. It is not a request, she said gently. That stopped me. Not because of the words, but because of how she said them. No arrogance. No threat. Just truth. What's your name? I asked finally. She hesitated. Then, LYR. LYR. I repeated. I know who you are, she said softly. I have studied your profile. Of course she had. I exhaled slowly. Okay, fine. Let's just figure this out. She nodded. Relief flickered across her face. Small, but real. And just like that, I had a wife. Middle. Living with LYR was strange. Not bad. Not hostile. Just unfamiliar. She learned quickly. Too quickly. Within days, She understood human routines better than most humans I knew. She memorized my habits, adjusted her behavior to match, always observing, always adapting. But there were things she didn't understand. Human emotions. Not fully. "Why do you frown when you are not in danger?" she asked once. "I'm thinking," I said. "Thinking causes distress?" "Sometimes." She considered that, then nodded, like she was filing it away. At night, she didn't sleep. She stood by the window, watching the city. Silent. Still. "You should rest," I told her one night. "I do not require sleep in the same way you do," she replied. "Still, it's normal." She looked at me. "Normal for you." That was the thing. Everything about this arrangement reminded me we weren't the same. Not even close. Weeks passed, then months, and slowly things shifted. She started asking more questions, not just about behavior, about feelings. "Why do humans form attachments?" she asked one evening. "Because we're built that way," I said. "Connection matters to us." She tilted her head. "Even when it causes pain?" "Especially then." She was quiet after that, longer than usual. Then one day, everything changed. We were walking through the lower district, one of the few places where human activity still felt human. Markets. Noise. Life. LYR stayed close to me. Always did. Then the alarm sounded. A sharp, piercing tone that cut through everything. People froze. Then chaos. "Return to your assigned zones immediately." The voice echoed through the air. Cold. Authoritative. Alien. "What's happening?" I asked. LYR's expression shifted instantly. Focused. Alert. Deviation detected. Deviation? She grabbed my arm. "We need to leave. Now." But we didn't get far. They were already there. Enforcers. Tall. Armored. Their presence alone was enough to silence a crowd. One of them stepped forward. Scanning. Then, it stopped. Right in front of us. "Noncompliance detected," it said. My chest tightened. "What?" "We didn't do anything." Silence. Its gaze shifted to LYR. Unit LYR 7. "Your behavioral patterns show deviation from assigned parameters." I looked at her. "What does that mean?" She didn't answer. "Correction required," the enforcer continued. Two more stepped forward, reaching for her. Something snapped inside me. "Hey!" I stepped between them. "Back off." The moment froze. Every eye turned to me. "Human interference detected," the enforcer said. "Step aside." I didn't move. "She's not a machine," I said. "You don't just correct her." "Unit LYR 7 is not your equal," it replied. "She is assigned." That word. Assigned. Like she wasn't a person. Like she didn't matter. I clenched my fists. "She matters to me." Silence. For a brief second, everything stopped. Then, emotional deviation confirmed. The enforcers moved. Yendi. It happened fast. Too fast. One of them grabbed me. The force was unreal. I hit the ground hard. Air knocked out of my lungs. "Do not resist," it said. I struggled anyway. Desperate. Furious. "Leave him." LYR's voice. Sharp. Different. I looked up. And what I saw, I'll never forget. She was standing between me and them. Her entire body glowing faintly. The soft silver of her skin now pulsing with light. Her eyes brighter than ever. "Unit LYR 7, the enforcer said. Stand down." "No." The word echoed. Not loud, but powerful. "You are malfunctioning." "I am not malfunctioning," she said. "I am choosing." That shouldn't have been possible. Not for her. Not for any of them. The enforcers hesitated. Just for a moment. That was enough. She moved. faster than I could track. 1 second she was standing still. The next, the enforcer holding me was gone, thrown across the street like it weighed nothing. The others reacted instantly. Weapons raised. LYR. I tried to warn her. Too late. The blast hit her directly. She didn't fall. She stood there, shaking, light flickering across her body. Then, she collapsed. No. I crawled to her side, pulled her into my arms. Her skin was dim now, fading. You are injured, she whispered. I'm fine, I said quickly. You're not. Her eyes met mine, still glowing faintly. I did not understand, she said. Understand what? This, she whispered. Her hand moved weakly, resting against my chest. Connection. My throat tightened. You do now, I said. A faint smile. Yes. The enforcers regrouped, weapons still trained on us. Both subjects are compromised, one said. Termination authorized. I held her tighter. Don't you dare, I said. But they didn't hesitate. The weapons charged. And then, everything went dark. Not unconscious. Not death. Something else. A system failure. The enforcers froze. Mid-motion. The city lights flickered. Then a voice. Different. Higher. Override accepted. The enforcers powered down. One by one. I looked around, confused. What? Emergency override. LYR whispered weakly. You did this. She nodded slightly. Why? Her eyes found mine again. Because I choose you. Weeks later, everything was different. The directive changed. Quietly, subtly, but permanently. Assignments were no longer forced. They became optional. Some humans stayed with their assigned partners. Some didn't. But for the first time, there was a choice. As for me, I stayed. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. LYR recovered. Slowly. She still stands by the window at night. Still watches the city. But now, she sits beside me. And sometimes, she smiles. You are still here, she said once. Yeah, I replied. Why? I looked at her. Because you weren't just assigned to me, I said. A pause. You chose me. Her eyes softened. And you chose me, she said. I nodded. And for the first time since the directive began, it didn't feel like control. It felt like something real. Something human. Something more. End.